Welcome back to another message crawler update. Today I'm going to show you how to load DAT files, native files, extracted text, and images into message crawler. So why would you do that? Well, I had a problem and that I received an outside production with like 50 different volumes, and they all had different fields. You know, like you have 3 volumes with the same fields, then 3 more where a couple of fields are switched, then another 5 where something else is shifted. Total pain, had to load it all, frustrating. Decided to do something in message crawler that could help with that. But before I show you exact solution to that problem, I'm going to show you how to load DAT files and OPTs and stuff into message crawler, and then I'll show you how to solve the problem I was having. So let's go to the screen and I'm going to show you what I got. And we have message crawler here, so we're going to start with creating a brand new database. We're going to go with SQLite, browse, pick a name. It's going to be 105. We're going to hit next. Now, whenever you do conversion, when you load normal data, you always want to create standard fields because they're going to be all set up with different data types and stuff. We're going to go with blank database because we don't know what fields are going to be in a DAT file. We're going to start clean. So for conversion, do not select this. Go with standard fields. If you load in DAT file, go with the blank database. So all that boring stuff, we're going to skip. Database has been created. We'll go to import DAT. Let's move this up so you could see better. And I'm going to select a DAT file, and I have my normal production format here. I have natives, I have text, right? So I have all the good stuff. So we're going to pick our volume here, our DAT file here. And now we're going to need to make fields. Now normally what will happen is you have to create fields in a front end, and you have to go and map the fields and all kinds of stuff. Not here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to select all the fields, and I'm just going to unselect all the date, because what we're going to do is make all these fields as text. So all I'm going to do is create selected as text, and it's going to create fields in a database and map them for me. Convenient. And these are going to create and map them as date. And we have a little legend here. It says green fields are dates, and the blue the numeric ones, and so on. So fields are created and mapped. We're going to put our volume path, and we're going to select native path, which is probably going to be cut off on your screen. But we got our native path, we got our text precedence, and we can hit import. And now it's going to start importing the files. And while it's doing that, I'll super quickly go over different options we have. Number one, we got our normal delimiters, which we can specify. If we're loading CSV, you can change those. You can just type in there. Encoding, again, generally not needed. Ignore quotes. This is like a weird thing that happens at times when you use concordance delimiter and certain DAT files don't load. You can try this option, but only do it if you have issues with a DAT file. Also notice it says select DAT files. That means you can select multiple DAT files to load at the same time. We're going to do that in a minute. Now, auto map, if the field's already created, you click the auto map button and it'll try to match fields from one side to the other, and it'll map them. Create field, if you want to manually create field, actually there isn't much point of doing it. You just use one of these buttons. And then load and save map, you know, it's how would you expect if you already mapped everything out and you want to save it, you can save that out. Import name is going to be how you want this import to show up after data is imported. You can throw in a description and so on. And if you're loading multiple DAT files, well, you can check this checkbox saying create import entry per DAT. So each DAT file will become a separate import set. So you can go to each one of those files individually, or you can create a search that combines everything together. It's up to you how you want to work with your data. So we're finishing up with our extracted text, and what it's doing, by the way, it's copying it to repository. So if the original data is deleted, then the data is still going to be preserved. You still be able to work with it. And of course, you don't have to do that. You can, there's going to be a field that you mapped here, and you can use that to reference your original files if you need to. All right. So once it's done loading, we're going to give it a few more seconds. Come on. Done. Okay, so once it's done loading, we can click on this magnifying glass, and we'll see our DAT file loaded. So nothing magical here. We have a DAT file that's in here. But if we go to our viewer, and I'm going to bring that over here a little bit and slide this over, we can switch to extracted text. And now we have a text viewer, right? So now we can see extracted text referenced by this field. So again, nothing magical here. I may have shown this before. But now let's go to import and import an OPT file. All right, so we're going to browse to an OPT. Here's the OPT. And we're going to select the field we're going to use as a link field. And I'm actually not going to copy to repository because it's going to take a while. And then we can name our import set. So I'm just going to hit import, and it's going to go through pretty quickly and load those records in. And now we can close this. Somebody should add a pop-up button to tell you when it's done. I'll put that on my list. And now, if we're gonna, since we didn't copy, we're gonna say use source path. So now, let's see. Oh, why this is junk? Let's scroll up, and there we go. Now you see we have our document, and we can see our images that we have loaded. And again, we can go through them. That one doesn't have an image for some reason. I already checked, so there's some documents without it, with no images. And if we want, we can use up and down to quickly scroll through the pages. So that's how you can load outside production. You can look at extracted text, and you can look at images. But now, let's look at the example that I mentioned before. Let's say we have the problem where we have multiple DAT files, and they contain different fields. So part one's got our Bates number fields, part two has some email fields, and in addition to this, and part three doesn't have email fields but has attachment fields or some dates and something like that. So let's see how we can load all of them at the same time, even though they have different fields. So import DAT file, and we're going to say select, and we're going to select them all, open, and now I'm going to click automap, and notice the field list is from all the DAT files. It combined all of them together. I'm not going to bother with this in the bottom here, and I'm just going to say import, and let's see, import is done, and now we have an entry. It says multiple files. So if I click on it, you see how in the beginning we had only Bates numbers. Then we had records with email information, and on the bottom we should have records with just the file name and some dates. So we had completely different DAT files with different sets of fields, and all we did is we mapped all of them once. We were able to get field headers from all of the fields, map them, and then message crawler loaded them all at the same time, and if the field is present in that file, it would load it, and if it's not, it wouldn't do that. So this would have been a perfect solution to my 50 volume outside production that was absolute pain in the butt. I would have loaded everything once automatically, and then just exported one DAT file, loaded it to relativity, and then I would have been done. So anyway, let me know if you guys think it's cool, not cool. What would you like to see in this? I'm really excited about this because I think it's just going to help me do a better job on my day-to-day work. So anyway, thank you for checking out this update. If you want to play with this, send me an email. This is still beta version, and this is still a private beta. I'm not sharing this publicly just yet. If you want to be part of the program, send me an email, and I will send you a private link so you can download this version and play with this. All right, I will see you on the next update of Message Crawler. Thanks for watching.